eastern part of Nigeria on the Eastern Business Report. And then finally, activities and conversations around the market will come to you on Afia. The Afia Business Morning takes center stage every weekday, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. My name is Ubong Kings. Welcome to the Afia Business Morning, and just to get started, let's bring you up to speed on things happening around us on the news update. Please stay.
Thanks for staying tuned to Afia TV. This is News Update and I am Ogochukwu Osai. On the News Update, the Abia State government has signed a 10 billion naira memorandum of understanding with the Bank of Industry to achieve industrialization in the state through small and medium-scale enterprises. On the national front, the House of Representatives on Thursday confirmed Olufemi Oluyede as the chief of army staff. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Senate has passed for a second reading the 4 controversial tax reform bills introduced by President Bola Tinubu aimed at reforming Nigeria's administration. On the international scene, Australia has approved the social media ban for children under 16 following a contentious national debate. And in world of sports, Abakaliki FC will face Madiba FC in the opening match of the 2024-2025 Nigerian National League season at the Pangele Oruta Township Stadium in Abakaliki on Saturday, November 30th. That's all on the news update. For more information, visit our website. Follow us on all social media platforms at Afia TV Official. I am Ogochukwu Osai. Many thanks for watching.
Trading on the floor of the Nigerian exchange is open today. The exchange in London opened an hour ago. The New York exchange is yet to open, while in China opening bells went up at 2 a.m. local time. Welcome to the opening bell segment of the Afia Business Morning. First, we'll take a quick look at some business news stories we're tracking at the moment. We're starting off from the continental economy, where the international economy where it's reported that Trump is threatening to uphold dollar supremacy. Story has it that President-elect Donald Trump at a campaign rally back in September, prior to his election victory in November, indicated that he would slap a 100% tariff on goods from countries threatening to erode the dollar's reserve status, which is already beginning to be felt by African economies. And then away from that, still from the global economy, it's reported that Stellantis is to close Luton Vauxhall van-making plant. The French-Italian car giant Stellantis says it is planning more investment to enhance its other UK factory at Ellesmere Port as the UK's sustainable EV-only volume manufacturing plant, where they are set to close its factory in Luton, putting more than 1,100 jobs at risk. Details of these stories and more will come to you on Global Business. And away from that, let's jump right now onto the floors of our future exchanges. And like they say, charter begins at home, so we'll start on the floors of the Nigerian Stock Exchange this morning, where the NGX all-share indexes at yesterday closed on a high, rising by 0.50% to close at 97,783.81 points. Now moving on, a total of 632,741,250 shares valued at 10,811,026,140 naira 13 kobo were traded across 8,404 deals with equity capitalization of 59,375,306,481,987 naira 67 kobo. Now we'll take a look at the biggest gainers and losers of the day. I'm interested to know that the biggest gainer of the day was Vitafoam, which rose by 9.81%. Other gainers were the likes of Aradel, FTN, Coco, Sovereign Insurance, and Ilando. However, on the other hand, well, Prestige topped the losers list with a decline of 10%. Other losers were Unilever, Austin Laz, John Holt, and Eterna. We're going to a quick break, and when we return, we'll be looking at activities from other selected exchanges. I'm talking about exchanges, the likes of, well, the New York, the London, Chinese stock exchange, which of course comprises Shenzhen and Shanghai exchanges. The Afia Business Morning and indeed Opening Bell. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Yeah, welcome back to the Afia Business Morning, and you are watching Opening Bell. We're going straight to the floors of other featured exchanges, starting off on the floors of the New York Stock Exchange, where it's interestingly all dips in index values across board. The NYSE Composite DJ is down 0.05%. NYSE US 100 index is also down 0.02%. The Dow Jones Industrial Average down 0.31%. The S&P 500 index is down 0.29%. The NYSE FANG TM index, Nasdaq Composite, and Nasdaq 100 are all down at 1.63%, 0.77%, and 1.11% respectively. Now we take a trip to the UK, where it is the reverse. Oh yes, it is, because on the London Stock Exchange this morning, it is all rises in index values across board. The FTSE 100 is up, FTSE 250 is up, FTSE 350 up, the FTSE All Share Index also up with the values of 0.03%, 0.24%, 0.14%, and 0.11% respectively. Now the question is, when we take a trip to China now, will that be the same order? But no, it is not, because we're stopping off at the exchange at Shenzhen, where the reverse is the case. It's all dips in index values across board, with Shenzhen Composite Index down at 1.26%. The SZSE Composite Index is also down at 0.65%. The Chinex Index is down 1.76%. Now, away from that, let's take a look at activities from the Shanghai Exchange this morning. On the Shanghai Exchange, well, it's all dips as well in index values across board. The SSE Composite Index is down 0.43%. The SSE 50 Index is down 0.60%. The Star 50 Index is down also 0.23%. SSE 180 Index down 0.58%. SSE 380 Index down 0.57%. And the CSI 300 Index is also down at 0.88%. We'll go on another break, and when we come back, we'll be looking at commodity prices as well as our consumer price watch in the open market. You may want to follow this program and join in on the conversation on our dedicated Afia Business YouTube channel. Kindly type in the search bar www.youtube.com/Afia Business. And while you're there, do well to hit the like button. Remember, you should subscribe so you get notifications on all business-related content coming to you from Afia TV. Also, you can join us on socials, Instagram more specifically with the handle at Afia Business _. This is just so you can be part of our social media community. The Afia Business Morning and indeed Opening Bell will be right back after this time out. Stay tuned. My name is Ubong Kings.
I am Marvelous Apamaga.
I am Chioma Akbala.
My name is Ifunaya Ndule, but I'm living in our market speaking.
Glad to have you rejoin us on the program. I am Ubong Kings. It's still the Afia Business Morning, and you're watching Opening Bell right here on Afia TV. It's time to check in on commodity prices. And well, we'll begin with precious metals and its upward movement for gold today. And indeed, all precious metals on the chart this morning. Gold is up at 0.36%. Silver is also up at 0.53%. Platinum is also up 0.44%. Palladium is up 1.30%. Moving on, let's take a look at activities in the category of energy. As you can see on the chart on the screen already, it's more of rises than dips in index values across board, with ethanol and oil bonylite being the commodities that are down at 1.27% and 2.84% respectively. However, natural gas is up at 1.97%. Coal is also up at 0.21%. Oil Brent is up at 0.78%. Brass River and Quaibo are both up today. Incidentally, yesterday they were down, and they are up today at 0.01%. Moving on, let's take a look at industrial metals this morning, and it's also mostly rises than dips in index value across board, and which pretty much looks good to me. Aluminum, nickel and tin are down at 1.75%, 1.38% and 2.42% respectively. However, lead is up at 1.98%, iron ore up 0.06%, copper is also up at 1.12%, and not forgetting zinc, which is also up at 1.87%. You are watching the Afia Business Morning, and this indeed is Opening Bell. You may want to follow this program and join in on the conversation on our dedicated Afia Business YouTube channel. Kindly tap in the search bar www.youtube.com/Afia Business. And while you're there, do want to hit the like button. Remember, you should subscribe so you get notifications on all business-related content coming to you from Afia TV. And in case you don't know, well, we are on Instagram with the handle at Afia Business _. Do well to be part of a social media community by liking and following us right there on Instagram. Up next, we'll be taking a break, and coming next will be the program with a segment, rather, Global Business, right here on the Afia Business Morning, where we'll take a look at business news stories making the rounds in Africa and the rest of the world. And on that note, I'll see you on Monday on the Opening Bell when the exchanges reopen for trading. The Afia Business Morning will be right back after this time out. My name is Ubong Kings. Stay tuned. My name is two-born kings.
I am Marvelous Afia.
I am Chioma Akbala.
My name na Ifunaya Ndule, but I'm living in market pikin.
Looking to grow your business? At Afia TV, we've got just what you need. With our various on-screen advertising options like speechbacks, lower third, sidebars, right in front of your audience. With our lower third, your brand messages appear during the most viewed programs on TV, allowing your audience to see your message without interrupting their TV experience. Now, if you want to go big, our speechback is ideal because it puts your brand messages on spotlight without interrupting viewers' experience. With our sidebars, your brand messages also takes the spotlight on our screen, ensuring brand exposure. These advertising options are affordable, effective, and designed to drive results. Get started today and watch your business shoot up. For more inquiries, call the numbers on your screen.
Tonight is going to be a night of blessing.
Jesus has brought you from January to today. Yeah!
I hope you're ready.
From the commercial nerve center of the Southeastern Nigeria, the Abia State Government and Aba Chamber of Commerce, Industries, Mines and Agriculture, ASIMA, invite manufacturers, investors, trade unions, captains of industries, and the general public to the 2024 Aba International Trade Fair Summit and Exhibition. Take advantage of these opportunities to showcase your business to the rest of the world. Improve your sales and brand visibility. Date 28 November to 7th December 2024. Venue Aba Mega Mall along Aba Umaya Expressway, Osisioma, Abia State. This message is endorsed by the Abia State Government and Aba Chamber of Commerce, Industries, Mines and Agriculture, ASIMA. For partnership, sponsorship and participation enquiries, visit www.abainternationaltradefair.com. On Facebook at Aba International Trade Fair, on X Aba International Trade Fair, or call Marcus on 0806 605 4420 or Sam on 0802 826 9391. Aba International Trade Fair. Be a part of it.
The Afia Business Morning. Join me every weekday on the Afia Business Morning as we bring to you a trilogy of business segments. The opening bell, where we see activities from our selected stock exchanges. The global business, where we bring you up to speed on business activities, make it around all over the world. And we bring the conversation home on the segment Eastern Business Report, as we discuss business activities and issues bedeviling businesses in the Southeast region. My name is Ubon Kings. Join the Afia Business Morning every weekday 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Exclusive to Afia TV on DSTV channel 254 and GoTV channel 17. The Afia Business Morning. Business unusual.
Thank you for rejoining me on the Afia Business Morning. Welcome to Global Business. And here we'll be taking a look at business news stories around the continent of Africa and indeed the rest of the world. My name is Ubon Kings. And here are the headlines that we're tracking at the moment. Trump threatens to uphold dollar supremacy. Stellantis to close Luton Vauxhall van making plant. HSBC loses court challenge against European Union cartel. We'll bring you details of these news stories and more right after this break. Stay tuned. You're watching Global Business right here on the Afia Business Morning, and we begin with this story that's reported that the president-elect Donald Trump at the campaign rally back in September prior to his election victory in November indicated that he would slap a 100% tariff on goods from countries threatening to erode the dollar's reserve status, which is already beginning to be felt by African economies. However, in the immediate aftermath of the election results, the US dollar surged in value against African and other emerging market currencies, mainly due to Trump's planned protectionist economic policies. Furthermore, the president-elect plans to hike existing tariffs by a further 10% on most foreign products and to impose tariffs of up to 60% or more on Chinese goods. Now let's try to look at something that's pretty intriguing to me, right? This detail has to do with the fact that the crux of this whole matter and story is basically Trump's planned protectionist economic policies. Now, I wouldn't, to an extent, term this as wrong. You know why I say so? I'll tell you. Any country that is serious about growing its economy and by extension its currency, that country must of necessity be ready to save, preserve, and nurture its local companies. And that pretty much explains why Trump is this vocal about wanting to save, preserve, and nurture its local companies from unnecessary competition, especially from companies outside the USA offering the same products and or services by imposing the said tariffs. Now, this is how it works, basically. When the said product is imported into the US, for instance, a tariff is slammed, which further increases the cost of that product or maybe service, right? Making it too pricey, so to speak, for Americans, forcing them to resort to locally produced goods and services. See where it's going. Now, let's take the EVs, for example, right? The electric vehicles. Now, these electric vehicles are generally a lot cheaper compared to, talking about Chinese electric vehicles, are generally a lot cheaper compared to the ones produced in the US. Specifically, let's use Tesla, for instance, right? Now, these vehicles are imported into the US, but they have tariffs on top of them. So it's almost as much as 100% tariff on top of all these vehicles. So imagine the vehicle sells for $20,000, for instance, plus another $20,000 on top of it. Tesla is selling for, say, $35,000. Naturally, you'll be forced to weigh the two options. You rather go for the one Tesla is selling, rather than the supposed cheap one because of the tariffs that's been imposed on that commodity. That's exactly how it is. And the truth is, I don't know why we don't have that kind of protectionist agenda here in Nigeria, making sure that our products here are actually more patronized. We have goods coming to the country and a lot cheaper. And we prefer those ones than the ones made in here. And that in itself kills our economy. And that's one of the reasons we have an issue, a lot of us have issues with patronizing locally made products. That's one of it. Just one of the many issues. But then again, story for another day, I guess. Moving on to other stories from this time around from the banking and finance world. It's reported that the Hong Kong and Shanghai Banking Corporation Limited, HSBC, has lost its challenge against a 31.7 million euro cartel fine after Europe's second top court sided with European Union regulators in the long-running case. The EU antitrust enforcer had originally handed out a fine of 33.6 million euros to HSBC in its 2016 decision, but the General Court in 2019 scrapped the penalty, saying regulators had failed to provide sufficient reasoning. However, the Commission has said the cartel of 7 banks colluded between September 2005 and May 2008 to try to rig Euribor interest rates, a benchmark which is set for rates on financial products such as interest rate swaps, futures, saving accounts and mortgages to increase profit or reduce risk. Now let's try to explain this a little more, and for sake of context, let's make some things clear. There were other financial institutions indicted in this issue. That is why they were called cartel, right? The likes of Barclays, Credit Suisse, NatWest, and HSBC were all on this shaking table. Now, the offense was for the foreign exchange market rigging, majorly. However, all this issue came to light when UBS, one other indicted financial institution, actually whistleblowed. Basically, that's what happened, and avoided a 94 million euro fine by alerting the European Commission to the cartel, which was set up via a chat room. They set up via a chat room known as Sterling Lads. However, HSBC received the largest fine of 174.3 million euros, followed by Credit Suisse at 83.3 million euros, Barclays at 54.3 million euros, and RBS at 32.5 million euros. But for some reason, the Hong Kong and Shanghai Banking Corporation Limited, HSBC, lost its challenge against the Euro cartel fine. The other banks, well, not the same story. We'll follow up on these stories and keep you updated as it unfolds eventually, and get to find out whether or not the other banks were roped into this also eventually, because it only appears that HSBC is the one at the receiving end, even though there were 7 of them, removing, of course, UBS. The other banks are still liable. But then we're seeing only HSBC in the news. We'll find out how it turns out eventually. You're still watching Global Business on the Afia Business Morning on Afia TV. Kindly join in on the conversation and, of course, watch in live right now on our dedicated Afia Business YouTube channel. Kindly tap in the search bar www.youtube.com/Afia Business. And while you're there, do well to remember that you can subscribe and be part and see rather all our business-related content coming to you from Afia TV. You can also join us on socials, Instagram more specifically, with the handle at Afia Business _ to be part of our social media community. Up next, we'll be seeing more business news stories from the world of aerospace and the automotive world right after this time out. Stay tuned. My name is Ubon Kings.
I am Marvelous Afia.
I am Chioma Okbala.
My name na Ifunaya Ndule, but I'm living in a market speaking.
Welcome back to the Afia Business Morning right here on Afia TV, and you're watching Global Business. Now on to the rest of our stories. We're moving on to stories from the world of aerospace, where it's reported that the owner of Air Europa Globalia, a Spanish group, has announced that the Franco-Dutch firm Air France KLM is interested in buying as much as 2.0% stake in Air Europa, but nothing is currently closed. However, Spanish newspaper El Economista added that the transaction wouldn't require a green light from the EU, as the stake is not large enough to be considered anti-competitive, as Air Europa would benefit from the cash injection linked to an Air France KLM investment, despite making a strong 165 million euros of net profit in 2023. Meanwhile, the deal would also allow Air France KLM to strengthen its presence in Southern Europe and increase access to the Latin American market. You know, this reminds me of something, right? I did say as at yesterday, just yesterday, that we'll see a lot of these potential mergers, acquisitions, and outright takeovers, and well, this is pretty much no exception. Yes, we'll see a lot more of these kinds of business deals rather, play out eventually. And in this case scenario, it's about the Franco-Dutch firm Air France KLM, which is interested in buying as much as 20% of Air Europa. But the thing here is that nothing is currently closed. In other words, it's not a sealed deal just yet. It should, however, be noted that Air Europa will benefit from this deal by the cash injection linked to the Air France KLM investment, despite the fact that Air Europa is not doing badly. I mean, in just 2023, it was recorded that they made a strong 165 million euros of net profit. Well, fingers crossed. We'll see how well this eventually plays out, and how the two companies, fare as far as the deal is concerned. Whether or not it will be sealed, only time will tell. And in the B2 and the bulletin, and finally from the automotive world, let's bring you this report that the French-Italian car giant Stellantis says it is planning more investment to enhance its other UK factory in Ellesmere Port, as the UK's sustainable EV-only volume manufacturing plant, where they are set to close its factory in Luton, putting more than 1,100 jobs at risk. The Luton plant currently builds Vauxhall petrol and diesel vans and was due to start manufacturing battery electric light commercial vehicles (LCV) for Vauxhall, Citroën, Peugeot and Fiat electric vans next year. Now, Stellantis says it is planning to invest in its other UK-based factory, Ellesmere Port, where they aim to transfer some of the current operations of the Luton factory. Now, let me try to break this down a little more to you real quickly too. Truth is that all this grammar is pointing to one major thing. Stellantis is pretty much on a mission to create something sustainable, all right? An all-electric sustainable vehicle hub through a £50 million investment. Anyway, ITV News tells us more on the more than 1,100 jobs to be at risk as Vauxhall owner plans to shut down the Luton factory. Let's take a look.
They've been working around the clock at Luton in recent months, but this afternoon an unexpected announcement brought production lines to a halt. 120 years of vehicle manufacturing here appears to be coming to an end.
How are you feeling?
Angry, absolutely angry. This is a decision that does not need to be made. Well, and it's an absolute slap in the face for the 1,500 workers inside the plant who have invested a lot of time, effort and dedication to the work that they do.
ITV News has seen a copy of the announcement that was read out to workers at lunchtime. Stellantis told them it proposes to move van production from Luton to its Ellesmere port factory from 2026, and that production at Luton would cease next summer. The company said it realises the proposal will have come as a surprise, and workers were told they were not required to work for the remainder of the shift. The business secretary was giving evidence to MPs as the news broke. Jonathan Reynolds said he did what he could to save Luton.
We were told this morning that the decision has been made to rationalise operations at Ellesmere Port is, to be frank, a better outcome than it could have been, because Stellantis has significant overcapacity, you will know, across this European footprint, so we could have lost those two key lines to a different factory. I wouldn't want to give any other impression than I believe this is a very difficult day for people in Luton.
Stellantis says government policy played a significant part in its decision. 22% of all the Vauxhall cars it sells in the UK this year have to be battery powered. The company says the demand for electric vehicles isn't there. To hit that target, it has cut prices and its profits. And Stellantis is not alone. Last week, Ford announced plans to scale back its operations. 4,000 jobs will go in Europe, 800 of them in the UK. There's pressure on the government to respond.
There are no incentives anymore for people to go out and buy electric vehicles, and also the charging infrastructure is not being kind of brought out quick enough. So if the government wants a very rapid take-up of electric vehicles, it's got to help consumers make that journey, and not enough is being done.
The government says it will fast-track a consultation on what to do next, but that doesn't sound like much of a plan, and any change to the rules on electric vehicle sales may not come fast enough to save Luton.
We'll follow up with the story, and as well as other stories as they unfold and keep you in the loop. And talking about keeping you in the loop, we want to get to our dedicated Afia Business YouTube channel and watching live. Kindly type in the search bar www.youtube.com/Afia Business. Do where to hit the like button. Remember, you should subscribe so you get notifications on all business-related content coming to you from Afia TV. Also, you can be part of our social media community on Instagram with the handle @AfiaBusiness_. Yes, indeed, you can be part of our social media community. You're still watching the Afia Business Morning live on Afia TV. Coming next will be a conversation on the budget presentation of Governor of Enugu State. All of this and more will be coming to you on the Eastern Business Report. The Afia Business Morning will be right back. My name is Ubong Kings. Stay tuned. My name is Ubon Kings.
I am Marvelous Afia.
I am Chioma Okpala.
My name is Ifunaya Ndule, but I'm living in a market speaking.